Hey, brave awakened ones. I was guided to go back and meditate. Take this as NRV6.5. I really wish all this information would come out at once. But first thing I want to cover are those clouds, those cloaking clouds I was talking about. And here they are. Now, there was big puffy real clouds around them. And like I said, I was shown the moisture being drawn from those puffy clouds to form these clouds. So all the big, beautiful, puffy clouds that look like that are now gone. Now you have these clouds, and you could see how it's wrapping itself around the sun. All right, so these aren't the regular chemtrail clouds. You could see the difference. Like I said, it looks like cotton balls stuck together. See, it's literally wrapping itself around the sun because there's stuff coming through the sun that we're not supposed to see or affect us or something like that. And the way it was shown, the way it was given to me, it's the Alliance doing this. It's not the Cabal, it's not the dark forces that's doing this right here in front of me. It is the Alliance. See, there's one of those regular puffy clouds. There was a huge bunch of them here, and I saw it being absorbed. And there's some other weird shapes in these clouds that are very subtle, but you guys can't see them. If they show up more, I'll tape it. I'll videotape if I see any spheres or any cloaked ships that show up really well. I'll tape it. Okay, that was number one. Now number two has to do with those ships, those cargo ships that were busted in LA, the big drug bust, not in LA, I'm sorry, off the port of Long Beach. Oh, damn it. I'm just gonna have to hold it. Off the port of Long Beach, those big cargo ships that were busted off the port of Long Beach. While I was just meditating again, I was guided to go and meditate. I had this immense sadness in my heart, and then I was taken there. Oh, and so sad. I felt like crying for those people. There was a whole bunch of men, and the military, the special ops military people, they were all dressed in black. And the ones that they were arresting, it's like there were so many, and they were sitting down, and they were all zip tied, black zip ties they had around there to tie their hands behind their back, and they were all sitting like back to back. There was just so many of them in the hull of the ship. And I heard telepathically, I heard the soldiers talking, and they felt bad for them too. And I was like, why would they feel bad for these people, you know, who are transporting these horrible drugs into this country? And then I heard telepathically, and I heard the soldiers talking, and they said they're basically slaves. I was like, oh my God. And then I feel like crying. My God, it was so intense. Then, like, I saw into the eyes of these people. It was just so sad. I saw into their eyes of these men. A lot of them were real young, like late teens, early 20s. And it's like, they're basically slaves. Some of them were there, let's put it this way, and I also heard the word economic slavery. We're going to hear that word a lot also. Economic slavery. They were there due to economic slavery. Some of them were straight up just snatched and sold into it. And some of them were there because their families were starving, and they were told, you know, we'll take care of your family if you do this. So it was economic slavery, quote unquote, and some of them were straight up just slaves that were taken, and they were all dark skinned. They were all dark skinned, and from where I saw they came from was Africa. They came from the coast. It was closest to, because Australia has a lot to do with kidnapping these people. It was off the coast of, it was the east coast of Africa. you got the horn, and it was like right around there. That's the image I'm getting. South Africa has a lot to do with it. Cape Town's gonna come into this whole thing. Damn it. And what I saw the soldiers talking, they were saying like what they're going to do with these people is return them to their home country. So they're going to be returned home. That's what's going to happen to these guys. They're going to be returned home. And we're going to hear a lot more busts because they're trying to close off the seaports, and especially what's going on with Australia. That's going to be a big focus now. So at least I know these guys are going to be returned home, and it was like a rescue mission. They were like rescued. But oh my God, they were like happy they were rescued, but it was just, it hurt my heart. It hurt my heart so bad to see what was being done to them by the quote unquote masters of those ships. You know, real slavery is going on. I don't know if you guys remember, it was like last year, Facebook and Instagram, they were constantly showing all these pictures of, oh, slavery's going on. This is the new slavery. And they were showing that, you know, people in Africa and the Sudan was it. And it was up in the northern region. They would be taken as slaves and stuff like that. And I remember there was one particular shot of this black dude with a chain around his neck. And there was a white guy with a gun on him. And they were showing all these black guys being huddled up, you know, slavery now in Africa, you know, selling. Yeah, that was conditioning. They were conditioning us to get used to seeing that shit. And this is what was going on. This is what they were using these guys for. This is how they've been using them. But, you know, now freedom reigns. Freedom's going to reign for them. Freedom is reigning for them. Just light workers, keep putting your light and love out there. Put love out there to these guys that were taken and made slaves out of, and that they're returned home safely now. You know, they're going to be returned home safely. Wow, as I'm talking, I'm going to show you guys the clouds again. Look at the thickness going on. Look how they're being formed. You see how they're being formed? Remember I had that puffy cloud here. Look what happened. The puffy cloud is gone, right? Look. See? They're all like congealing. Look. They're all forming around the sun. You see that? You see how that was a puffy cloud right behind those trees, and how it's like being sucked up and formed into these clouds. See, this is how they make the blanket of clouds. This is how they make the blanket of clouds. All right. Lady V out. And of course, if I get more information, I'll give it to you guys. Namaste.